Do the St. Louis Cardinals have the next future star in the minor leagues right now? We'll take a look at that. We'll break down their top 5 positional prospects in this episode of Long Live Baseball covering the St. Louis Cardinals, and that starts right now. So let's break down the top 5 prospects for the St. Louis Cardinals positionally. We broke down the pitchers. Now we're going to look at the position prospects. And this all starts with Victor Scott. Victor Scott is one of the more exciting players that I've seen in the minor leagues that's come through the Cardinals system because he's unique in the sense that he has speed to burn. The question with Victor Scott is going to be, can he hit at an above average clip in the major leagues? Like, can he hit 260, 270 in the major leagues? And if he can, and he can prove to get on base consistently and display that speed, he's going to be an absolute weapon. And this is because there are no doubts about two aspects of Scott's game. His speed is elite. His base running is really, really good. And so is his ability to play center field. Scott also has an above average arm and grades out as an above average prospect on that 20 to 80 scale that they use when grading prospects. However, there's no doubt there are elite aspects to Victor Scott's game. And if he can develop in AAA, assuming that's where he is, because he was at AA Springfield last year, then Scott could very well be on his way to being a starting center fielder for the St. Louis Cardinals, maybe as early as 2025. In 2024, I'm not sure. There might be an opportunity because Tommy Edman's wrist injury, if that plagues him a little bit, or if it takes a little bit more time to recover, there could be an opportunity for Scott to show what he has in spring training. And if he can, I don't think he would beat out Dylan Carlson at this point, but I don't know. I mean, there might be a spot for him, at least until Tommy Edman can get 100% healthy. But I don't think the Cardinals need to rush it because this is a prospect, I think, in 2025 that I think is going to be up with the big club. I think he can be a really good player, like a really good player at the top or bottom of a lineup. I don't think he's ever going to be a middle of the order guy just based on what type of player he is. He's a player that really, really uses his speed to his advantage, and he's going to be that kind of player. He's never going to be a player that hits from much power. There might be some pop in his bat. He had 7 home runs at the minor league level, but what's really exciting is when you look at what he was able to do in AA this year. 323 batting average. Like I said, he had 7 home runs, on base percentage. You'd like to see that maybe a tick higher, 373 with that kind of batting average, but that's still not bad. In an OPS of 824, I mean, in just about 300 at bats, that's pretty good. And so if he gets the call up to AAA, I'd guess he'd start either in AA or AAA. My guess is probably AAA. I'm not 100% sure. There's no doubt, like I said, he has elite traits, speed, fielding, and it's just a matter of, can he develop into an above average hitter at the major league level? And if he can, he's going to be a solid baseball player for the Cardinals for a while. I don't know if he'll ever become to that star level like what we think Jordan Walker can be, and maybe even Mason Wynn. But I think between him, Mason Wynn, and Jordan Walker, if the Cardinals can hit on those 3 guys, they're going to have a nice core after Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. The next player we're going to talk about is probably a few years away, but it's the number 3 overall prospect on the St. Louis Cardinals list on MLB.com, and that's Chase Davis. Chase Davis is an outfielder who was selected in the first round of the 2023 MLB draft with the 21st overall pick. He's more of a traditional player in the sense that he has a lot of raw power. When you turn on the tape, watch him at Arizona, you can see him hit bombs from the left side of the plate. And he can play any of the outfield positions. He can play center, left, right, and he has a good arm, plays solid defense. Davis struggled last season at Single A Palm Beach. He hit just 212 in 34 games. However, like I said, Davis's journey is just beginning, and he's got a lot of time. This season, Davis is going to be entering his age 22 season. He'll turn 23 he'll turn 23 in December of this year. This is a guy that's not projected to be in the major leagues until 2026, but there's no doubt that he has the ability. He has a lot of power from the left side. And again, another outfielder for the Cardinals, definitely a guy to keep on your radar and to monitor as he progresses through the minor league. Thomas Agassi, the number 9 overall prospect for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's a solid prospect who does just about everything well. He can hit, he can play solid defense. He's an aggressive player. This is a quote from a scouting report. He's a right-handed hitter with a handsy stroke, aggressive approach. Sagesi looks to drive the ball through the air to his pull side. He should have 20 home run power once he adds more strength, and he could become a solid hitter if he develops more discipline. He flashes some aptitude for recognizing pitches and working counts, but likes to turn his swing loose. So again, he's aggressive. Some scouts would like to see him, tone it down and be more patient at the plate. But he profiles to play second base, and this is problematic in the sense that the Cardinals have a lot of players who can play second base. They have Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, Tommy Edman, etc. And so I don't know if we might see him this year. I mean, he has some AAA counting stats on his record. I mean, not many. I mean, he played in 13 games at AAA Memphis, 63 plate appearances. He hit 207. So he's probably going to need some more time to develop. He's going to be entering in his age 22 season. So we'll see. Again, this is a solid prospect. He's the number 9 prospect for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he came over in that Jordan Montgomery trade. So the next player on our list is Leonardo Bernal. And again, this is a catcher. He's going to be 20 years old. He's from Panama. And to be honest, he's played in single A. He played in single A Palm Beach the last 2 seasons. Played pretty decent, hit around 250, 260. I don't know too much about him, to be honest, but this is a guy to monitor, and he's some years away. And then the number 5 positional prospect for the Cardinals is a guy who probably has the best name in all of minor league baseball, maybe even Major League Baseball, is Travis Honeyman, and he was their pick. He was one of their picks last year. He was their 3rd round pick. He's 22 years old. And again, we don't know much about him, but he comes from Boston College, quite a few years away from the major leagues if he gets there. But he is the number 11 overall prospect, and we'll learn more about him as he goes through the system and the Cardinals develop him. And again, he's another outfielder. So the Cardinals, out of their top 5 positional prospects, 3 of them are outfielders. One of them is a second baseman, and the other's a catcher. So again, the Cardinals putting an emphasis on their outfield position that's already pretty deep. So it would lead you to believe that if the Cardinals are going to trade, maybe they deal out of this depth that they have in the minor leagues. But we'll see. Again, to answer the question, is there a future star in the St. Louis Cardinals minor leagues? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Victor Scott's probably the closest guy there to a future star. It's just too early to tell. If we would have been doing this video a year ago, 2 years ago, we would have been talking about Jordan Walker, and that Jordan Walker, pretty confident that he was going to make a big impact at the major league level. He would have been considered a future star to me. But Victor Scott, like I said, very exciting. The speed, the ability to play center field. It's something the Cardinals could have a need for as early as this season. He probably is going to play a bigger role in 2025. Let me know what you think of these prospects. Click the like button, subscribe to the video. Again, these are names that we're going to want to pay attention to as Cardinal fans to see how they develop through the minor leagues. Interesting names, especially Victor Scott, Chase Davis, and Thomas Sagasi are the 3 primary ones, with Travis Honeyman and Leonardo Bernal as catcher. So it's going to be exciting to see these guys develop. Again, like the video, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.